Hey guys, welcome back for another installation of Inspirational Guns. So this month I got a special one. I call it my miracle shotgun. No, it doesn't make water into wine and it doesn't make one fish into 1,000. What makes this shotgun special is it didn't explode in my face. Yes, there's a story behind that. So this here is an Occidental 12 gauge double barrel shotgun with the rabbit ears on there. And when I checked the serial number on there, as far as I can tell, it was manufactured back in 1890. So right about that realm when smokeless powder was coming into play. It is wrapped laminate steel. So these days anyway, I'm very cautious with what I put in it. So what makes this shotgun a miracle shotgun? Well, I got this shotgun when I was in my early 20s and I didn't know nothing about nothing. I ended up picking it up at a gun show for a fair price because I thought it was cool and I liked the rabbit ears on there. But the old timer who ended up selling it to me, he cautioned me. He says, this is wrapped laminate. Only shoot black powder through it. So I didn't think nothing of it. I went about my business, stuck it in the gun safe, and then carried on. So the day came when I finally pulled it out. I remembered what the old man said, and I kind of blew it off. In my young and stupid days, I did stuff like that. Hey, who hasn't? So anyway, what I ended up doing was I would take this thing out actually fairly frequently, and even though I did take notice that he did say black powder, I was a little bit cautious about it. So I mostly just sent number 7 bird shot through it. No problems whatsoever. Fairly low charge, not a big deal. Well, then I started getting cocky. So I've put a bunch of stuff through this thing that I really shouldn't have, and by all rights, this gun should have exploded in my face. I shot double slugs out of this thing, meaning a slug in each barrel, pulling both triggers at the same time. Bad idea, right? I've put buckshot in both barrels, pull both triggers at the same time. Bad idea. So, hey, we all do stupid things, but very thankfully, very luckily for me, the gun didn't blow up in my face and I didn't get shrapnel all over the place. So, what did end up happening, and it taught me a very good lesson too. Instead of blowing up in my face and instead of banana peeling the barrel, right down here you're going to see underneath there's going to be a little retainer that retains the firing pin that goes in. So this little nipple area, and that ended up becoming cracked and I broke the firing pin. That put the gun down for several years. I looked for probably 7 years. No kidding, 7 years I looked for parts for this thing. Well, this was manufactured in 1890, okay? They don't make Occidental shotguns anymore, obviously. So it took that long for me to finally find the parts for this thing, and thankfully I was able to replace them. Now it shoots no problem. Now, having learned my lesson and having a little bit more fear of God in me, I shoot exclusively black powder 2.5 inch shot shells out of this thing. Now during this month there's going to be a full video on this one, and I'm going to have some fairly stout loads, 3 drams worth in each load, so that's pretty stout. But I am pretty confident in the steel on this one. Somehow it stood up, and I had to check to make sure it wasn't cracked or anything like that. It stood up to those heavy loads before, and I've already tested these loads before with no problems. Just a little bit of added recoil. We're going to have a lot of fun when that video comes out. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Short and sweet. The shotgun that didn't blow up in my face, and yet another bona fide piece of history in my hands. 1890. Isn't that awesome? Occidental the Interchangeable is what this thing is called. And they made such a big deal of it being interchangeable because in 1890, well, they were starting to get into mass production, but we weren't quite there. We were still doing a lot of hand fitting on stuff, and that went on for well on into the 20th century. So with this having interchangeable parts, the Occidental Interchangeable, that made this a very desirable shotgun at the time. So yeah, was it used in the Civil War? No. Was it used in the Indian Wars? Probably not. But does it have any real historical significance? No, not really. But it is part of our history, and it's a very, very nice shotgun. It's a very elegant stock on there. I've actually featured this on a previous video too. I'll put a link on there. And that's about it really. It's just a really neat shotgun. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Holler out in the comments if you want to see more shotguns or any other antiques just like this. Until next time.